Day of reckoning, the controversy continues, and then we have to wait to know what comes to play. If then our CAF will say yes to Libya and then it goes scot-free maybe, or are we going to wait to know if Nigeria will get this one? Some like to say let them get 3 points. Some say it's not a done one. Don't go that way. But I tell you this day that the controversy between Libya and Nigeria cannot be overlooked. Nigeria supporters are well known for their loyalty, often critiquing their home team rather than opposing squads. In stark contrast, I must tell you that the Super Eagles, the question is the manner in which the Libyan treated the Super Eagles raises alarms about their intention and respect for sporting ethics. Now, all eyes are on the CAF organization, as it is imperative that such action is addressed firmly to discourage any attempt at undermining the spirit of fair play in the future. What transpired between Libya and Nigeria is more than a hiccup. It is indeed a slap to African football integrity. While some Nigerians attempted to highlight past grievances, equating the two situations, it is essential to clarify that the Libyans themselves orchestrated their travel without keeping the Nigerian counterpart in the loop regarding their journey. Instead of flying into Uyo, where the match was scheduled, Libya chose to land in Port Harcourt, significantly complicating matters despite the NFF facilitating their movement from Port Harcourt to Uyo. The Libya Federation opted for road travel, ignoring safety warnings while refusing recommended arrangements. The Libyan Football Federation criticized Nigerian withdrawal, indicating possible legal action to defend their interest. Moving on, reflecting on the scenario, one can't help but think of the catastrophic possibilities had the flight ended in tragedy. Many in Nigeria would say, God forbid. Would Libya have defended their actions if that had happened? That's a question. Accepting the need to hinder Nigerian football prowess or facilitate an easier win in the upcoming Afcon qualifier second leg. Let me tell you what a diplomatic insult displayed by the Libyan authorities. And I want to quote myself by saying, African football can always do better. The question now is, what and how will CAF handle this matter? And I am very sure that you can't wait to know. That's the question. It is a day of reckoning. It is a big day. It is a day to ask questions. It's a day that we wait to know. It's like the most anticipated day. It's like the day that we are waiting to say, yes, what would CAF do? Would they go scot-free, talk about the Libya Football Federation, the LFF, or what they said yesterday, the apologies and that all of the stories that they are making now, would it be just in their talks, or would it be that the CAF people, the CAF body, the body governing African football will take measures to this? Only time will tell. Many thanks for joining us this beautiful Tuesday morning in the city of Lagos. It is the Sport Republic show, and you already know I am your host, and my name is Kizike. Now, I'll tell you this one. Today is a very big day, the Champions League game coming up. I'll tell you about that, and we'll keep that on the sideline. Let's start with one of the story about that day. Don't forget, it's a Tuesday. We know what they said. They said, submit your document for evidence sake. And that was the message from CAF to the Libyan Football Federation, also the Nigerian Football Federation, and then they've done so. And today is like a day of reckoning. Come tomorrow. By now, hopefully tomorrow, we'll give you update if that measures will be taken highly or not. But I have one to tell you, the way that CAF is going about this. I'll tell you, just stay with us. Now, quickly, let's let you know that CAF shouldn't have allowed Libya host Eagles on home soil. It's not coming from me, coming from Nigerian player Kenneth Omerua. Super Eagles defender Kenneth Omerua has faulted Confederation of African Football decision to have allowed Libya host Nigeria on home soil in the Afcon qualifier second leg. Recall that the Super Eagles boycotted the game after the Libyan authorities held the player, staff, and coaching crew hostage for more than 16 hours after they arrived at Al-Barak Airport. Now, reacting to the development, Omerua, in an interview with reports, stated that it was a dangerous decision for CAF to have given Libya the green light to host their games at home. He advised that the Nigerian Football Federation to always visit a venue where the Super Eagles will be hosted before allowing the team to travel. Let's quote Kenneth Omero, the man you have on your screen. He said, "For me, I think it was terrible. I didn't even know Libya had to play their games there because I know the country is not a peaceful place until now." Okay, he's saying the Libya country that we know is not a peaceful place up until now. So why would CAF allow such a game, a critical game, go on in that place? He said. So I think it was a wrong decision by CAF to let them play their home games in Libya. The crazy one was even diverting the flight. It is so dangerous. It is so dangerous, he said. I'm just happy that they are back and they are safe. For real, I think it's very important for us to see that this problem gets settled and gets solved, he said. And then we are waiting because we saw the delegate travel before the game and, with all of this, you could call it, it's buzz, a whole lot of big talk about that one. But he also said something that I got on. He said if someone was there in Libya, they would have gotten the information beforehand and they could try to fight the situation before the players actually bought the flight to travel. There was no plan. The Nigerian Football Federation also in the mix. The Nigerian delegation enrolled to Benghazi for the crucial match was left stranded for over 16 hours after the flight was diverted mid-flight to Al Barak. Now, a small airport typically reserved for Hajj operations, and that's from Kenneth Omerwa. Now, let's talk about the very big day. Today is the day. We are going to know what the outcome will be, but let's talk about the top text. This is like a CAF's shame with a question mark if it goes wrong. This is like a credibility talk. This is like the integrity of African football. Let's talk about the Libya-Nigeria game. CAF set to decide, CAF to make decision on cancelled Afcon 2025 qualifiers. And then for Wednesday, the Confederation of African Football CAF is expected to announce its decision on the botched 2025 Africa Cup of Nations qualifying Group D between Libya and Nigeria, which was scheduled for Benin Amati Stadium on October 15, this previously the other time. But let me tell you, according to a source in Libya, this is just what it is. CAF will rule on the players' audio during the first leg in Nigeria, which ended 1-0 in favor of the Super Eagles and the reverse fixture that was eventually delisted. So those things, those footages we've seen on social media that the Libya people got, we saw what they did. All of those pictures, we have to know that it's a very big evidence for them. But the question will be raised, what did you do when you felt you were not treated well? You are telling us you're not treated well when the situation, it's now this big. But the Libyan Football Federation, LFF, has already submitted all the necessary documents to CAF. Nigerian delegation saw their flight diverted to Al Barak, we know the story. And then they were held captive for at least 17 hours, some sources would say, without food, no internet, that's to say no Wi-Fi, no water, and then before they flew back to their home country. Nigeria Football Federation, NFF, lodged a complaint with CAF over their ordeal, but the Libyan Football Federation insisted that Nigeria did not cooperate with them in any way, whether in the first leg or the second leg. So it's like a disagreement between both parties. Do you understand? They are saying that Nigeria did not cooperate with us, and also they did not get the cooperation they needed in Nigeria. So it's like a mixed feeling. But do you know this part where you hurt someone and you don't even know you hurt someone? We, in court, to say Nigerians, what we thought was that we believe that anybody coming to play a game, if we want to use our best stadium, our best stadium is Uyo, we know. If you want to play a game in Nigeria, it's advisable that your flight will be landing in Uyo. That's the way Benin Republic actually did when they came to play Nigeria. So it's just like we know the Libya people should have just made a move straight to Uyo other than doing. How do they even know the road? I know it's a flight move, not a pilot, but how do they even know? I know when you check it out, you see there's always there's an airport there. But why not follow the route? And then when they were on the move, 3 hours before arrival, they had to put a call through. So you know all of these stories now. So I don't know how CAF want to judge this case today. I don't know how they want to do it. I don't know the requirements it will take, the what's it called, the criteria to make sure they get this right. But they know at this point in time that it's a big job for them to do, regardless. If they don't, then just maybe it will be a shameful action, because a lot of people are saying that Libya people should be banned. And I said, okay, that sounds like it's so big. What about the guest I had on the show yesterday, DK Madina was saying, if you ban them like this now, it doesn't sound like a fair treatment. They should be sanctioned, possibly with a fine, a huge fine. But I said this, the last time they did this was to a Nigerian side again. They did it to Imba, they did it to Rivers United, and then you begin to ask questions, do we let it go? Will this slip just under the carpet? I think it's a big job for CAF to do. So it's a day of reckoning. It's a big day, because today will send a whole lot of message to the people on the outside to know if African football is really, really a reserved place to be, if it's really, really a place dedicated for football, or then the other way around. Because that for me is like a diplomatic, political move, and then they knew that it would go this way. But let's go off that story and bring you another one. Huge support on Nazi is in the story. Questions have been asked, why is Victor Boniface, thank God for his life, even though we know the story that happened for the weekend. Why is Victor Boniface not scoring goals in Nigeria? So Nigerian midfielder Ogenyo Nazi has offered his thoughts on the challenge Victor Boniface faces when playing for the national team. Boniface, the highly regarded striker at club level, has proven his worth with strong performances for Bayer Leverkusen. However, his form for the Nigerian national team has not mirrored his club's success. Since making his debut under Jose Pesaro back in 2023, Boniface has made 9 appearances, contributing 1 goal and 1 assist. Despite his promising start, his recent struggles, such as the lack of goals in Nigerian Afcon qualifier against Libya, has raised eyebrows, questions about his performance in the green and white jersey. Now, speaking in an interview with Report, the 2013 Afcon winner Ogenyo Nazi explained why Boniface might be finding it difficult to replicate his form on the international stage. Now, let's talk about Nazi, what he said. He said this national team is one of the most talented we've had in years. Victor Boniface is an amazing player, but national team and club side are 2 different teams entirely. At the club side, he has players who are conversant with his style of play. They see each other more than even family members, so they blend every day. If he is to, he said if he is not scoring at the club level, if he's not scoring on the club side, we need to ask questions. But he's scoring goals. Now, Onazi emphasized that the limited time national team spent together is a major factor in Boniface's struggle. In the national team, you come and after 3 days, you play a match. How do you expect them to understand themselves? He also noted that certain players find it easier to adapt to the national team duties. I'm surprised he's saying this. I understand, though. Now, Onazi went as far as saying there are some players that when they come to the national team, it's done for them. They can do anything, any day, but it doesn't apply to everyone. In Bayer Leverkusen, Boniface plays with a teammate who know exactly where he runs and how to deliver the ball to him. But in the Super Eagles, many of our players like to dribble inside, cut in, and want to shoot. So these, are the characteristics and things we need to know. It sounded like he's talking about he likes Boniface, I'm just saying. But then the question has been asked there, why is he not scoring goals? Well, now he concluded by calling for more support from Nigerian midfielders. He said, our midfield players need to do more to help Boniface score more goals. Now, let me quickly talk about Boniface. The fact that we know his gameplay, he's a gifted technical player, I must call him. He has that style of play that you begin to say, this guy, what next? What is he going to do with the ball? He makes the right runs. He finds himself in space and time. He reads the back line of the center backs. So I like the way he plays. But the question is, why is he not scoring goals? We want him to replicate that scoring prowess in the Nigerian jersey. But I think I want to support Onazi on this. It's true. That's true. You know why? I watch Iwobi play. I watch Ndidi play. I watch Onyedikachi play. Raphael. I watch Frank Onyeka play. Now, why do you think Osimhen is succeeding in Super Eagles jersey? Osimhen is a bully. He might be lanky, he might be slim, but he's a bully. I'll tell you, what Osimhen likes, dropping the balls like a Drogba style, bring those balls, just keep looping it, then we'll fight it out. So he's just that hungry. Osimhen does not fancy how to score goals. Once he wants to shoot, he just hits it. He does not do, let me fancy, but Boniface, what does he want? So it's like two different kind of strikers. I think I would say Osimhen is a traditional number 9. That's the word. If you find Osimhen well outside the box, you find that he does just touches the ball and he makes a run. He barely wants to dribble. He doesn't have the footwork. But Boniface will do that. So in other words, Boniface likes the ball coming to his foot. Give me the ball on my leg. Give it to me, my leg. Just bring it. My foot, send the passes and I'll get it. Then he likes to make the game himself. But the coach, interim, you could say temporal, Iguava has come to say that the reason why he's not scoring goals is because he likes to pamper the ball. He likes to pet around with the ball. He likes to show off with the ball. He said before he could dress the ball, Iguava used the word saying Boniface likes to dress the ball. But I understand. When you dress the ball that way, he said before you could want to play in a way he wants to get it right, defenders are quickly on him. They are so quick on him to get off the ball from him, and then he finds himself struggling and not scoring goals. But Iguava said if he can be focused, find himself in the box, then shoot. Regardless. There's no need to play. But we know this kind of players now. Boniface personally would not want to do that. He likes to get the ball on his foot, and then he can dazzle, makes right run and scores. Why is he scoring goals in Germany? Florian Wirtz know him well. Granit Xhaka know him well. Tabsoba knows him well. Frimpong knows him well. Jonathan Tah knows him well. This guy's Grimaldo. They know him very well. Every runs he makes. So Alonso Javi, the coach, knows that, yes, I have one man up front. Against Eintracht Frankfurt during the weekend last week, he missed a penalty. But guess what? He still scored a goal. And that's Bayer Leverkusen. They won the Bundesliga last season. Dear people, Carl, Boniface was an integral part of that success. But why is he not scoring those kind of goals in Nigeria jersey? I'm not trying to justify his play. I'm not trying to say our midfielders are bad. But the truth of the matter remains, the passes are not coming. They aren't coming. See, the passes we play to Boniface is the kind of pass we give to Victor Osimhen. So whenever we have a Boniface, we feel like, I wonder you will like that style, that loop pass. But it will be very hard for Boniface to adapt if we continue that way. So we need, I take it back to the Nigerian team again, the midfield play. We need that midfielder that can hold the ball. Iwobi used to be like that formerly, but I think Iwobi is now being forced. I see a lot of pressure when Iwobi is wearing Nigerian jersey. When you watch it play in Fulham against for Marco Silva, he's being drifted to the left, Herrera in the midfield. They have a good set of play. Smith Rowe in the midfield. Now, watch his passes, very classic. Whenever I wear the Nigerian jersey, I feel like a pressure. Iwobi is the only man I can say in that midfield for Nigeria that can give those cool passes. He might not be having the rest of mind in the Nigerian national team, I know. He's been cyberbullied before, so it's a whole lot of talk. But we still need to find that as a merchant, as a maestro, as a schema. It's called a schema. The man that can hold the ball and play those passes, they could call a true pass, in between the defenders, and they're standing this way, and the pass is coming in between, and it works for me. So I think Boniface will really benefit from that. But if we continue playing this way, indeed he gets to hold the ball and they send it long, and he had another saying, Chukwueze will not give you those balls on your foot. He wants to cut in, and I think it's just Simon that's the winger. Moses Simon likes to cut in and he crosses the ball. But Boniface goes on with the duels. He can score goals with the duels. He can score by the foot. So he still needs, watch him. I think more of his pictures out there, more of his video clips out there, you will see him playing more with the ball on his foot. That's the kind of player he is. But for Osimhen, he would not always like to return like that. Osimhen is a team player. Osimhen is Nigeria #1 up front. We know. I respect Osimhen very well. There's no comparison for goal size. Osimhen and Boniface, no. Talk about goal wise, but talk about gifted players with the ability to dribble, to hold on the play, to score goals with the head, by the foot. I mean, Boniface is complete for me, and that works for me. But quickly, before we go on a break, let's tell you that the market is big. Transfer market is out here. Super Eagles squad value so as high, 282 million. And that's a big money to talk about. US dollar, you want to say. Now, let's talk about this now. After dropping 3 consecutive times, so you need to know that our team is big. The Super Eagles have finally seen their squad value. It's a market value rise in the transfer market, rated among the world's most valuable teams with a total value of 465.90 million US dollar in January. But then the Super Eagles value dropped to 252 million US dollar in July. A drop that has affected their global ranking. However, according to the latest transfer market report, Nigeria's squad value has risen to 281 million US dollar. The Super Eagles dropped in the previous edition high on the Victor Osimhen's absence from the team that faced South Africa and Benin Republic in the last phase of the Afcon qualifier. Now, African champions suffer a massive drop to 91 million US dollar. Talk about their second huge drop this year. While Victor Osimhen once again missed the Afcon game against Libya earlier this month. But the return of Taiwo Awoniyi, Chidera Ejuke, and then Victor Boniface value helped the team move up in the latest release by the finance expert website. Moving on, they moved up by 7 steps and now ranked 19th most valuable international team in the world. We used to get level, even though it's not that so big, but do you know how many countries we have in the world? Do you know how many? We are 19, like 19th most valuable international team in the world. Why they are yet to reclaim their numbers? One position as the most financially valued team in Africa from Morocco. They now occupy the second position, 2 steps above their previous ranking. Now, moving on, the Eagles boast players who ply their trade in Europe, the creative leagues, despite the rise. It is surprising that the team has a mere value, which according to the official exchange rate of the Naira to the Euro on Monday, 100, that's 775, thousand Naira, amounted to 500 billion Naira. In July, they were placed 26th with a market value of 252 million Naira. But the squad value has witnessed an increase of 30 million compared to the squad previous value. Now, not only was Victor Osimhen's absence fell or dropped us down, we have also Bayer Leverkusen's sensational player, Maduka Okoye, also all of these guys, Calvin Bassey, Ola Aina, Moses Simon. If I tell you their rates and how much these guys are valued, and you begin to say that, yes, Nigeria is not bad. We're not doing bad either in that phase. But meanwhile, the Eagles continue to trail Morocco, who despite a massive drop to 75 million, still boast a 325 million squad value. I'm talking about Euro on this part. Now, the reduction in their market value saw them drop 2 places for now ranked 16th globally. Senegal are second on the continent with a value of 276 million euro, while Africa countries, Cabal Nations winners, Ivory Coast, who were second in Africa in July, are now third on the continent. England maintain and retain their position as the most financially valued team in the world with a market value that's so big. 1.34 billion euro, while France dislodged Brazil to occupy the second position. Why would England not be on top? Why? England will always come top because their media hype is so high. You know. Some say they don't have big players. They have big players. They might have not won the World Cup in the last 10 years. They've seen it before. But then, the hype on the English players is big. And you begin to see players move from Lazio to Premier League. You see players playing the AC Milan setup, big side in the Serie A, wanting to play just where? Close in the Premier League because it's about pounds. And that's a huge money. But quickly, let's let you know that when I return from the break, when we come back, we'll give you an update about the Super Falcons. Coach Madugo invites Ajibade Nadozie to entry other players for the Algerian friendly. And then, what more can be said? I'll let you know the players and also NPFL news and give you some Champions League news. And also, you don't want to miss. Please stay with us. I'll be back. We'll be back shortly. Welcome back from that quick break. You're still watching Voice of the People TV. Yes, my name is Kizike. Now it's time for us to talk about Super Falcons, but I have other stories to give you that you don't want to miss. But just like a reminder, so you know, today is a big day. Today is a day of reckoning. Today is that day that you can say the Lord has made, if you want to say. But I still don't know what CAF would do. I don't know what you make about that scenario. What do you think? What measures, what implications, what implementations do you think that CAF need to put in place today? The Libya people are playing a mind game. Let's say it's right. They are playing a mind game because as of yesterday, they were pleading. And in the course of their plea, you don't see a person they beg. They beg, see they get pride. They are feeling they've not done anything wrong. So we are just praying and hoping that CAF don't, you know what I mean, the other way. Let them not bend it the other way. I just want the measures to be taken right. Do the right thing at the right time, the right place. And let's not forget that the world is watching. Today will be a day of credibility. Today will be a day of reckoning. Today will be a day of integrity. Today will be that day that we wait, that the world is really waiting. Guess what? People are really anticipating for this day. They are waiting, clamoring. We can't wait to know what CAF would do. I already told you before now that initially, if it was not about that saga, if it was not about the way the Super Eagles were treated, it should have just been a point awarded to the Libyans, just like that. Because you don't have a right to boycott a game. You don't have a right. There's a body governing the game. You cannot say no when the body is saying yes. But with the way these guys were treated, come on, man, tell me. It's a bad one that, see, when I look at those clips, when I look at those videos, I begin to wonder. The intentions, the question is, what intentions, what are the intentions that come? See, that's the motive behind this. If a pilot or the pilot, the Tunisian man can come out in public and say that he knows the implication of diverting a plane when you're that close, and I recall the last word he said, thank God we made it safe. Else, the story would have been different. What would it have been if it was a tragic story? So these are what I think CAF should do. It's not on my position. It's not on the station, VOP TV, Voice of the People TV. It's not on us to tell CAF what to do and what not to do. We can't say that now. Come on. It's not on us. We can't decide for the body to say this is what we'll play. But we urge them to do it right. We urge them. See, this is a credibility talk. I like to say integrity is key. Communication is key. We need to understand. As at now, if you notice and you follow the story very well, you understand that FIFA have not said anything about this. If you watch it well, you see that FIFA is just being mute on this because they believe that we cannot just come and interfere. It's like a UEFA talk. It's just like a thing happening in Europe and FIFA wants to talk. No, now. It's when Alexander Safrin, the president of UEFA, cannot handle the matter, then it takes it high, or then the other side, the opposition, will write on the FIFA. But at this point, the Football Federation, the body governing the game, FIFA, is still watching because this is an African story. And what will happen? Time will tell. So please, CAF, in the year or so, in the year me so I beg, when I just judge this thing well. George and Louis is supposed to be. Don't see, no mago. If Nigeria do bad, we just story with it here, men and Marcos punishment. But if not Libya, because if you ask me a question, I'm not going to sound because I'm in Nigeria. No, I think Libya have faulted. They failed as a host nation. They failed. You don't do that. How do you do that to people? Professional players who play that trade abroad as well. You already know. Now, do you know how shameful this story is? I was going through one of the magazines, right? And I saw Fulham coach. His name is Marco Silva. And he said, this is unacceptable. You can imagine a Marco Silva, coach of Fulham, talking about, because why? What is his implementation? What is his problem? What is his point? He had his players involved in that one. Calvin Bass plays for Fulham. Right. Alexi will be placed for Fulham. We also saw Nantes, the Ligue 1 French club, texting, saying how good is our players, can we send a flight? So a lot of, even Bayern Leverkusen did so, a lot of clubs wanted to send in flight, private jet too. Not be said, they'll carry Boniface, carry, I want you to know, now direct to Leverkusen. So, but then, the NFF made the measure and it's all right for me. So let me say that again on the show. Kudos to the Nigerian Football Federation for this very one. You know me now. If they know they do and we are going to talk, you know. But I like to get a clip of that man fully, the man you have on your screen. And that's Patrice Motsepe, and that is the CAF president. He is a South African international, and he knows this well. He knows how big this will be. See, It's not about Nigeria-South Africa rivalry in football. No, it's about the right implementation. He also knows that we have our own Amadio Pinnick. No disrespect to anybody, but I'm just trying to say we have people who are also in that CAF line that knows what should be done when a team falls in this position. But let's quickly go off that one and let you know some top stories emanating in the world of sports as well. Bring it back. Super Falcons on this story. Yes, head coach Justin Madugu, I'm liking his name, has invited captain Rashida Ajibade, goalkeeper Chiamaka Nnadozie, and 23 other players for the 2 international friendly matches planned for 9-time African champions Super Falcons against their Algerian counterparts in Lagos. That's by the end of the month. Now, the matches are billed for the Mobolaji Johnson Arena, Lagos Island, on Saturday, 26 October, and on Tuesday, 29 October, respectively. If you're in Nigeria, please make sure you see that game. Now, it is the first time that the Falcons are playing international friendly matches on home soil since the Aisha Buhari Invitational Tournament, which was held at the same venue 3 years ago. Before then, they hosted the Indomitable Lionesses of Cameroon at the NPFL FIFA Golf Project Abuja in 2014. Madugo has also called Turkey-based defender Oluwatosi Demnehin, comfort for Lawrence Shaw of Edo Queens, Spain-based Gift Monday, and a long list of home-based professionals and a couple of Falconers who featured at the FIFA Under-20 World Cup in Colombia last month. It will be the first regrouping of the Super Falcons since the Women Olympic Football Tournament in France in the summer, and following the departure of the American international trainer Randy Waldrum. The Algerian delegation is expected in Nigeria on Wednesday. The Confederation of African Football CAF has already approved the 2 games officially for that very game. So let's say 2 games, which is let's say the superintended by FIFA match officials from Benin Republic. Now let's tell you about our ladies. See, yes, again, when I go talk about our ladies, I go say I like the Pan Super Eagles. Please don't get me wrong. I'll tell you why. Now we've let, not like we let him go. Randy Waldrum has left. Randy Waldrum has left that job. But these ladies I'm talking about, they have a structure in place. Nigerian female football, I must say. These Falcons ladies, they are doing well. They've done well. 9-time African champions. See, I think on the foreign soil, they struggle a bit. We didn't see what happened at the World Cup, but Olympic was like a poor one. But they had a very good manager who has left the role now, although rather Waldrum. But I think, I'm not even thinking, I know that they are good to go and they are ready. Any African team wanting to play the Super Falcons, you need to sit up well, tighten up your seatbelt. If you have, then it works for me. Now let's go with the team lineup. The goalkeeper, we have the general team. I'll tell you the club side, and then before we talk about the Champions League, the big one coming up. Yes, Chiamaka Nnadozie, Paris Football Club plays for France. Molly Onyoso plays for Edo Queens. Rachel Onachuku plays for Nazareth Amazons. The defenders are Chidima Okeke, Club America, Mexico. Oluwatosi Demnehin plays for Galatasaray Sporty Football Club, Turkey. Miracle Osani plays for Edo Queens. Florence Alexander, Bayelsa Queens. Blessing Leveda, Edo Queens. Sikiratu Isa, Nazareth Amazons. Comfort for Lawrence plays for Edo Queens. Tersi Onjoye plays for Nazareth Amazons. Chidima Oguchi plays for Football Club Robo Queens. What about the midfielders? Rashida Ajibade plays for Atletico Madrid, Spain. Esther Oyejineze, Apoel Hakatapo, Israel. Shukura Oladipo, Hapoel Queens. Chama Olise plays for Edo Queens. Edo Queens now plenty here. And Josephine Mateas, Nazareth Amazons. Amarachi Odoma plays for Edo Queens. Now, lastly, forward players are Gift Monday plays for UDG Tenerife of Spain. Good news, the secret Edo Queens. Janet Akerumoe plays for Nazareth Amazons. Delight Nwosu, Bayelsa Queens. Folashade Ijamilusi plays for Edo Queens. Mercy Omoko, Bayelsa Queens. Olamide Bolaji plays for Remo Star Ladies. When I talk about Edo Queens, you don't be saying we talk about Edo people too much. You see, they have a setup. The best should play. I must commend Madugo now, because when they start getting it wrong, I'll talk. But if it continues this way, I'm liking what he's doing. It's a friendly. You need to give those local base players that opportunity to mingle with just a mixed squad. Why not? It works for me. It's not a do or die. We know it counts because it's international friendly, but please, we should get it right. Now, let's bring you this NPFL story. El Kanemi versus Enyimba clash, good advert. And that's from the technical advisor of Enyimba, Abayemi Olarenwaju, has heaped praise on the match day 8 clash involving El Kanemi Warriors and 9-time winners Enyimba, saying It was a perfect advertisement for Nigerian Football Club. Before I leave this shot, let me even tell you what he's trying to say. We don't hype our league. We want to be the best out there. We want to get out there. We want people to talk about Nigeria Premier Football League, formerly known as the Nigerian Professional Football League. You're good at the commander professional. Make a Premier League is nice. But then, like what you said, we know that's the man you have on your screen. We know they are a very good side. I think they gave us a good game. First half, we struggled. But that's about that game. But I like the part where we can see ourselves promote our league. Let's put it out there. Let people see. Every time I talk about the NPFL, one thing that comes to my mind, I remember, and I like to say, Lagos, Nigeria, we have the island as the mainland. I was at the island having a haircut. I don't like calling the name of the player. One of the NPFL player, big name, will not be saying a small player, big name. All those ones they see money where we normally every month. You know, say our league never to if we do whenever they do weekend. You know, say for Europe now weekend they give them like no government rich weekend like Thursday they don't see their small team. But Nigeria a month now our size for now for no disrespect. This guy because it was my job, or maybe because I do the sport thing, I recognized him once. I had a handshake with him. I called him. I'm like, you know me? I said, I know you. He said, no, believe I know him. You know why? Because our publicity in Nigeria is that so poor. We don't publicize our players. I don't like to call names. Some of our NPFL clubs' social media page is that so poor. You never they work out for road for Nigeria. Nigeria, they talk. Me, they work out. Me, see person where canopilas, they work out. You don't see them. They hard. Now, for canopilas, they wear that jersey. But I think I must give credit to Remo Stars. Yeah, show me on this one, I must say. What do they do? When you go to Remo Ikenne, Ogun State, I'm not trying to exaggerate this one. I'm not from Ogun State now, normally. But you know what they do? See, when you go to Ikenne, you see, come on now. I mean, the publicity is big. And that's how I feel it should all go round. And also, wrapping up the show, Finidi hint at the day joining Rivers United. And then Finidi said, if you want to play, you've won the Afcon in 2013. If you want to join us, you can join us, but we cannot pay you. We can't pay you because we've seen players who have come in this way, and then Ahmed Musa is doing it for Kano Pillars, so please, you can play for us. Abdullah is here, who's also playing for Kano Pillars. They came in, and they know they pay them now. If you play for us, you know, go bad. We like you to play. I'm talking about Brown Ideye. Finidi said, there is every likelihood that he will join us. We want to thank him, and we want to give back. That is the most important thing. He has the hunger. We've seen things like that. Ahmed Musa also, he's willing to do that. If he can do that, why not? But we can't pay him. Now, let me leave the show and bring it to the greatest of them all, Match Day 3 schedule. Please get glued to your TV when the time is right. Let's tell you. We'll bring you the fixture while I talk about this storyline about the game, the fixtures for today. Okay, let's get the picture of the full Match Day 3. Then later we'll get off that one. Then we'll bring you the picture of today's game for Tuesday. Now, I tell you, yes, that's for the Match Day 3. You can see that. It's a long game. It's a long game. But let's bring it back to today. The games for today. So Match Day 3 is 2 days. You already know how it works on the Champions League date 2023. And then let's bring it back to the other one and let's see how it goes. Now, the UEFA Champions League returns today with another batch of league phase matches with redemption on the line for a handful of Europe top teams. 7 teams enter Match Day 3 with a perfect 6 points out of 6. A group that excludes heavyweight like Real Madrid, Barcelona, Paris Saint-Germain, Bayern Munich, and Arsenal, among others. The objective for many of them will be to make up the deficit, a reasonable task with 6 games to go in the league phase. It creates plenty of interest ahead of another competitive round of Champions League action, especially as Barcelona face Bayern Munich and Liverpool take on RB Leipzig. Now, the storyline of the day. The biggest game of the Match Day 3 is undoubtedly Bayern Munich trip to Barcelona, where 2 teams that have already dropped points hope to claw back into the top spot of the league phase. Barcelona's unbeaten run in the league may be long gone, but they appear to be solid on the ground under the new manager, the German international Hans Flick. They finished another weekend atop of the La Liga and have outscored the opposition. You know, that's big to say. It does vary on 19-9 in 9 games, perhaps, demonstrating some defensive weakness, but definitely boasting an attack that can bail them out of trouble more often than not. A harder opponent like Bayern Munich, though, will naturally test the sustainability of the strategy, but Barcelona will have the benefit of surviving their latest injury crisis. Good news, Dani Olmo, Lamine Yamal are back in the mix after short-term injury, while Gavi is finally making his return back after tearing his ACL last year, anterior crucial ligament. As for Bayern Munich, I tell you, they are also the Bundesliga leaders and boast a handful of lopsided wins in their favor. There are some signs of possibilities in the early days of Vincent Kompany's stint in charge, but the result in high-profile games have been mixed, including a draw against Bayer Leverkusen and the lost days to Aston Villa on match day 2 at Villa Park. Barcelona are not expected to pose the same challenges as Villa, but you already know Villa, who are ready, happy to absorb Bayern's pressure and limit their offensive input. You could say output if you want to say. With adds a layer of intrigue on the match day 3, Bayern will no doubt have important looks at goal with Harry Kane in the lineup, though it could be without, or they could be without Jamal Musiala, who is dealing with a hip issue, but hopes to be back in line for Wednesday clash. Now, let's talk about the other one, redemption arc for Real Madrid and Paris Saint-Germain. Bayern Munich are not the only Super Cup eyeing a comeback in the match day 3. Real Madrid and Paris Saint-Germain are also, wanted to have their own redemption back to complete after losing their previous matches of that very game. So all of these games will be coming up today. Please don't miss out on the games because it will be very interesting that we give you more updates. The guys will be here again for you. That's later on, 5 p.m. Jerry and James will be here to take you through the other sporting stories, basically football, just like the show goes, locker room. But I need to go. Big shout out to those who behind the scene, keeping it real, and also you, wherever you're watching from. Thank you so much for doing this with us. We'll bring it again to you tomorrow, 11 a.m. Nigerian time. The show will come your way again, the Sport Republic show. I remain your host, and you already know my name is Kizike. I am the only football player without a jersey. For tomorrow, I'll see you.